Enjoy this chapter. Question of the day. Do you prefer slow burn stories or fast paced? You want to show me your room? Costa laughed as soon as we were outside the dining room. Oh, shut up. At least I saved you from arguing with Julius. No, you saved him from arguing with me. I would have happily put that Stronzo back in his place. Sure, whatever. I rolled my eyes, dragging him towards the stairs. He quietly followed behind me as we wandered through the hallways of my old home. The last time I was here, I breathed, coming to a stop outside my bedroom door. Everyone else was in Greece celebrating our wedding. Only Damien and Julius stayed with me while I packed up my things. You never celebrated the wedding with your family? He was taken aback, his eyes remaining on me while I stared at my door. No. They did have parties in my honor in Athens, but I didn't attend any. Did you? I turned to look at him, surprised by his slight frown. Yeah, he nodded, clearing his throat. My father held a week of celebrations in Sicily. So it was just me sulking and preparing for my life to be destroyed? Well, it's not like the parties would have meant much to me anyway. I gave him a fleeting smile, pushing open the doors to my old room. No matter how much my father wanted to erase me from the family picture, my room remained untouched. It was exactly how I'd left it. Well, apart from an empty bottle of whiskey on my nightstand. Damien. I sighed, heading over to the bottle, choosing to put it outside the door so someone could dispose of it. This is your room, he mused, taking in my light cream walls and dark gray wooden floor. He took his time admiring my king-size bed that overlooked the back garden. He passed by my empty desk where I'd work for hours into the night. Then he ran his hand over the plush couch where I'd often fall asleep reading. There were a few photo frames dotted around the room, mostly of me and my family. I waited for him, curious to know what he thought of my old room. It's not what I imagined. Why? I don't know, I just thought it would be more glamorous. It just seems so normal. Am I not normal? I smiled, leaning against the edge of my desk. No, you're not. He quipped, coming over to where I stood, but I followed his gaze to a photo frame. This is cute. He laughed, picking up the photo of me at my college graduation 4 years ago. I hate that picture. I rolled my eyes at the photo in disgust. Why? He glanced up at me fleetingly. My college graduation wasn't the best day. Most of my family got called away during the ceremony. By the time I came back, it was only my mother left. Even then, we quickly took a few photos and left. It wasn't safe to stay or something. Growing up, there was always an emergency or a safety concern that came up when we went out. I never really knew what was going on. I was just ushered into a car and off we went. You shouldn't hate it because of that. Sure, it got ruined, but it's still a sign of everything you achieved. He handed me the photo, which forced me to stare back at myself. I was so happy in that photo, that's why I hated it. What did I achieve? I laughed sardonically, tossing the frame down on the once chaotic desk. Now it was bare and empty. My life is a mess, Costa. It's not that messy. My husband is trying to go to war with the Serbian Mafia to create another ally and weaken the Russian guy who threatened to kill everyone apart from me. But my father wants him to kill the entire Petrovic family so he can take all the power for himself and rule half of Europe on his own. I summarized the conversation that we had over dinner, giving him a flat look. So it's a little messy, he replied, flashing me a teasing smile, and that's just one of the problems I have. I sighed, my eyes drifting back to the room again. I had so many memories in this room. But they all felt like a lifetime ago, like they weren't even real. Hey, he caught me staring at a picture of Damien and I when he nudged my arm. You'll fix things with them. They might be annoying as fuck, but those two idiots miss you. I could see it every time they looked at you downstairs. What if we don't? I hated being down there with them so mad at me like that. I don't know how long I can handle it. I can't remember the last time Damien didn't greet me when I walked into a room. We'd always gravitate towards each other every time. You will. I can't tell you the number of arguments I've had with my brothers. They often end in physical fights or we go our separate ways for a long time, but we get over them eventually. I gave him a small smile, not sure what else to say in response. The silence fell between us, but I think he was just giving me time for my own thoughts. I doubt he was as emotionally attached to my bedroom as I was. Can I keep this? A few minutes later, he picked up the same photo frame from my graduation. Why? I laughed, watching him begin to remove the photo from the frame. You look happy. It's proof you can actually smile. He smirked, earning the reaction he was after. I do smile, idiota. When my cousin takes you out for breakfast, he scoffed, placing the photo into one of his jacket's inner pockets. He told you about that. I smirked, loving how he bristled at the mention of my breakfast with Aiden. Yeah, apparently you called me a dick multiple times too. It's no secret that I think you're a dick. I joked. As for the breakfast, he was trying to find something to eat when I was leaving for work, so I offered to take him to a little spot I saw the other day. I was about to explain further what we talked about, but a throat clearing stopped me. At the sight of Damien standing in the open doorway, we stood up from our relaxed positions against the desk. Can I talk to you for a minute, Millie? Alone. Do I even want to talk to him right now? This day had been eventful enough. I don't want another fight to add to the list. Talk, I need to call Rocco anyway. Costa brought me out of my thoughts, waiting for me to tell him where he could go for some privacy. I'll meet you downstairs when you're done. Those were his parting words before he left, slowing down to have a stare down with Damien on his way out. Once he was out of earshot, Damien stepped closer to me. Your father is pissed at you for taking your husband away from him. He smiled, clearly attempting to break through the awkwardness between us. I didn't grace him with a response which had his smile faltering. It was quickly replaced with a broken expression, pain lighting up in his brown eyes. Millie, he slowly approached me, obviously giving me the chance to stop him if I chose to. My silence gave him the green light to come right up to me, gently taking my hand in his. With a little tug, he pulled me into him. He wordlessly held me in his arms, resting his chin on my head. In the storm that was my life, that one hug seemed to ground me again. It brought all my turbulent emotions under control. It took all the pain of the last 3 months away. It reminded me I was still loved, still wanted. Acosta and his family didn't want me, I was forced on them. My father didn't want me. My mother was caught between us with very little authority. My brother was mad at me. But Damien's hug reminded me there was at least one person left who still loved me. I'm sorry, he whispered, pressing a kiss to the crown of my head. I'm so sorry, Millie. Me too. I pulled away from him, revealing the few tears that had fallen from my eyes. Number don't cry, not because of me. He gently cradled my face, wiping my tears away. I'm not worth your tears, Mildred. But I hurt you, Damien. I shouldn't have believed him. I should have. That doesn't excuse what I said. I was wrong. I was so fucking wrong for what I said to you. It's okay, I don't. Can we not fight anymore? I miss you too much. My voice cracked as more tears broke free. Of course. He pulled me into his arms again and I rested my head on his chest. It's finished, yeah? Yeah, I nodded, sniffling in his arms. I love you. I love you too, Maleficent. Millie, my brother's cold voice broke us out of our hug a minute later. I guess everyone is coming to my room today. We both turned to see him stood awkwardly by the door, a bowl in hand. Mama sent your dessert for you. Okay. Bring it to me. He narrowed his eyes at me from across the room while Damien and I stood by my desk. With a curse word I'm sure he directed at me, he made his way over to us. He carelessly tossed the bowl on the desk, causing the spoon to clatter against it. Wait, I grabbed his hand to stop him, earning myself one of his usual glares. Stop being so stubborn and just give me a hug, idiot. No. With a roll of my eyes, I wrapped my arms around his waist to force him into a hug. He didn't wrap his arms around me, he just stood there glaring down at me. So I'm sure Damien chuckled behind me when I tightened my grip on him so he couldn't move. I won't let go until you hug me. You're so fucking annoying, you know that, right? He snapped while my head remained against his chest. I nodded, smiling when he begrudgingly returned the hug. 30 seconds later, he gently shoved me away from him. Happy? Not yet. I grabbed his hand to stop him running away. I glanced over at Damien, who'd already put two and two together and was now scowling at me. Millie, no. Damien shook his head, so I had to grab his hand too. I knew the two idiots would run away if they had the chance. I'm not letting you go until you hug. No talking, no fighting, just hug. You know we're both stronger than you, right? Julius scoffed, pointedly looking at the way my little hand was gripping his. If you force yourself out of my grip, our friendship is over. I shrugged, waiting patiently between the two stubborn Mafia men. The two of them were having a stare down, and I was absolutely sure they were exchanging words silently. Hurry up, my ice cream is melting. Fuck, fine, Damien snapped, stepping closer to my brother. Julius's glare was screaming, don't you dare touch me, but Damien didn't care. Since they needed both arms to hug, I let them go, meaning I could also reach my dessert. I stood there happily watching the most awkward hug I've ever seen while I ate my tiramisu and ice cream. Fucking tiramisu. Italian again. And just 20 minutes later, we were on my bed, laughing as if nothing ever even happened. Wait, really, Mildred? Yeah, he said I can spend 3 weeks in New York and 1 week in Sicily. That's nice, Damien scoffed in disbelief. What does he want from you in return? What do you mean? I frowned, hugging a cushion to my chest. He didn't say he wanted anything. He probably wants sex. Julius grimaced, his gaze drifting towards my body as if I was already naked. Idiota. You haven't screwed him yet, have you? Damien asked, clearly having no sense of boundaries or a filter. Hey, I exclaimed, fucking gross. Julius shook his head in disgust. What? She's been married to that man for 3 months. He's a fucking dick, but at least he's nice to look at. Damien shrugged innocently. You have him then? I don't plan on having sex with him ever. Ever? Yeah, right, Damien chuckled. When he held your hand to guide you out the dining room, you were ready to drop your panties for him. Is that what you did when you brought him to your room? I was not. I gasped, tossing the cushion at my cousin. I didn't bring him up here for sex. Bro, I don't need to hear this. Julius grimaced, sending Damien a pleading look. Fine, we'll talk later, Mildew. Damien gave me a playful wink before tossing the cushion back at me with 3 times the force than I used. Ow, I was met with nothing but their laughter. All the men in my life are dicks. I muttered, massaging the side of my face. Fuck, I can't believe you have a husband. Julius muttered, poking my leg, you're still a child. I'm 25 years old. How many times do I need to say it? I'm in my boss bitch era now. Yeah, but you're still my baby sister. It doesn't feel right seeing a man sitting next to you. He treats you good though, right? Damien finally asked the question I'm sure he'd been thinking for a while now. Yeah, I guess. We're not friends or anything like that, but when I've needed someone, he's been there. And he keeps you safe? Julius asked. He does, but only because he has to. I gave my brother a sad smile, fiddling with the ring Damien gifted me on my wedding day. I wore it every single day. I don't have the same confidence with him that I did with you guys. Like I said, we're not even friends. You guys would do anything for me but Costa. He would only protect me because he signed a contract. I don't think I'd ever fully let go of the contract. It will always be a reminder that our relationship wasn't real. Acosta signed the contract which promised me safety and money. If he ever does anything nice, I could never be sure if it was coming from his heart or out of obligation. He seemed all right with you when I came in here. Maybe he's warming up to you, Damien suggested. Last time I saw him, that fucker couldn't even look at you. Now he's pouring water for you and holding your hand. My brother scoffed, his disdain towards Costa never wavering. He's definitely warming up to you, Millie. Just give it time. I wish I could just stay here, I sighed, looking up at my old bedroom ceiling. Millicent, elate Cato. Come downstairs, my father's irate voice just about carried through the house. I groaned, forcing myself up off my bed. I hate him. Join the fucking club. Julius muttered, also getting up from the bed. He's changed so much since you got married. I can see it, but I thought it was just towards me. I thought he hated me now that I wasn't part of his family anymore. No, it's not just you. Whatever it is, he's taking it out on Julius and your mother, too. Damien scoffed, and me, I never even do anything and he snaps at me. Do you have any idea what it is? I asked my brother as we headed over to the door. His lust for power, he's always had this reputation for craving more and more power. I guess I never really saw it until now. He sacrificed his own fucking daughter for power. He muttered, leaving my room. Damien followed behind him, which gave me a moment alone. I'll miss you. I whispered to no one in particular, maybe to the girl who used to live there. With a heavy heart, I closed the door and quickly caught up to Damien and Julius. Rocco did me a favor by calling with a fake emergency so we could leave like I asked him to. But Millie took her fucking time to come downstairs. If she thinks I'm getting her a fucking milkshake after this, she's wrong. Her father was doing my fucking head in. I swear, one more fucking word and I'll blow his damn head off. I don't even care if he's Millie's father or the head of the Greek Mafia. One more fucking word and he's a dead man. So I know you have to go, but I really think we should discuss this again. The Petrovic family, Millie. I bellowed from the bottom of the stairs, my hand itching towards my holstered gun. A few seconds later, she came ambling down the stairs with her stupid brother and her even stupider cousin. Relax, idiota, I'm coming. She laughed, clearly missing the hostile vibes in the entry hall. Idiota, Damien nudged her, giving her a weird look. I'm learning Italian. She grinned, shifting her gaze towards me. Sigh, I was so fucking pissed. But that grin she gave me just melted it away. Sigh, I nodded, a ghost of a smile breaking through. What the hell is wrong with me? So that's all you know, idiot? Damien laughed as the three of them reached the bottom of the steps. Millie came over to where I stood, now close to the front door. I know a few other words. The bad words? Julius cocked an eyebrow to which she stuck her tongue out, so mature. Are we leaving? She questioned me. Yeah, come on. Before I kill someone, we took about 2 steps towards the door when she suddenly stopped. Oh, mama, she suddenly launched into a long fucking conversation about some green shit I didn't care to listen to. I resisted the strong urge to make my annoyance known by putting a round of bullets through their ceiling. Instead, I waited by the front door, mentally going through the tasks I had to do when we got home. It's the only way I could stay calm. Work. I wanted to kill her so fucking bad when she went off into the kitchen with her mother, but she was laughing more than I'd ever heard before. Actually, she was happier than I'd seen her. After she came back from speaking to Dumb and Dumber upstairs, she had a glow. It was the same glow she had when she walked into the church on our wedding day. I'll never forget that moment, no matter how much she made me want to die. Those church doors swung open, but the three of them were too busy laughing at something to notice. Her laugh traveled through the silent church just before the music started up. That's exactly how I felt standing in the entry hall by the door. I could hear her laughing from the kitchen, and it just put me at ease. That's until her fucking brother spoke to me. I swear, Acardi, if you pull another stunt like you did at that poker game, I'll come for you. Yeah? I smiled, funny motherfucker. My sister isn't a pawn in your games. You don't get to use her to your advantage when it suits you. Kind of like how your family shipped her off to Sicily so you could ally with the strongest family in Europe. I cocked an eyebrow, still sporting the same smile I knew would get under his skin. No, like how you sent her those fucking gifts pretending to be Kozlov. He spat the words at me, letting his anger get the better of him. You started this, Costa. It's your fault she's trapped in a marriage that is making her miserable. Miserable, really? I nodded towards the direction of the kitchen where her laugh could still be heard. Julius, stop. Damien sighed, pulling his cousin away from me by his arm. He's just riling you up. If you push it, he'll probably just take his anger out on Millie later. And that's all it took to break through the calm I'd forced upon myself. What the fuck did you just say? I took a sudden step towards Damien, my eyes glowering into his. I've had enough of you two fuckers speaking to me like you're above me or like you know me. You don't. Get this through your heads, I could crush your family to dust and walk away without a fucking scratch. Try it, you son of a bitch. Let's see what happens. Julius seethed, stupidly stepping closer to me. Just as I went to lift my hand so I could throttle him, Millie's voice cut through the tension in the hallway. That's enough. She was standing there carrying a bag with a disappointed look. Once again, she was frowning, her previous glow long gone. If only I could give it back to her. Costa would never hit me, Damien. She sighed, coming over to the front door. Why couldn't you just leave it alone? He doesn't deserve you. His family doesn't deserve to have you. Julius muttered, the rage in his eyes still burning away. So you have to go and make it worse for me. How can I ever get mad at him for the way his family treats me if you're doing the same to him? We didn't mean it like that. Damien muttered. It was clear to see his resolve when it came to Millie was much weaker than Julius's. Damien gave in to her pretty quickly. I know you'll probably never get on and that's okay. I'd never expect it, but you have to stop fighting. She included me in that when she gave me the fucking side eye. I'm fine, he's not going to do anything to me. From now on, just be civil or stay out of each other's way. Can we go now? I took the bag from her, opening the front door. I didn't bother to stick around while she bid farewell to her stupid family. I was ready to light a match and watch their entire fucking house burn to the ground. Throw in a cigar and Christmas has come early. The security cars were all ready to go while we waited for my wife, but my phone ringing ruined even that moment of peace I had alone in my car. Hello? I sighed, running a hand over my face. Giovanni won't stop laughing. What? I frowned. I don't know, Costa, he's going mad. At that exact moment, I caught a snippet of Giovanni laughing in the background. It's probably his medication. I chuckled, where's Rocco? He's right here, but he's fucking useless. Hey, I found the TV remote. I heard my brother scoff. It's like letting three wild idiots fend for themselves. Just keep Gio entertained. We'll be back soon. I laughed. Relief flooded through me when Millie finally came out the front door, only stopping to wave 3 fucking times on her way to the car. Fine. Aiden sighed, hanging up the phone just as she got in. She sat quietly fiddling with the ring on her finger for most of the drive back to the city. Then she sighed, turning to look at me as I drove. I'm sorry, Costa. For what? What did she have to be sorry for? My family drove you crazy. I know you've already had a hard day, and it's not your fault, Millie. I cut her off, speeding up behind my security. I asked you to come with me, remember? I know, but they're still my family, so I feel responsible for their behavior. You mean your father's insane desire for power and your brother's thirst for my blood? Yeah, she nodded, completely missing my attempt at lightening the mood. It's okay, Millie, don't worry about it. Just apologize for your own behavior instead. I smirked, glancing over at her fleetingly. I knew it would get to her, and it did. My behavior? What the hell did I do? You left me alone with your father. Any longer, and I would have killed him. Then she would have been mad at me like it wasn't her fault for leaving me alone with him in the first place. You were the one who told me to talk to Damien. It was inevitable we'd end up getting caught up in a conversation after that. She shrugged, flipping her hair over her shoulder. So it's actually all your fault. My fault? I murmured, glancing over at my wife again. This is what married life is like, right? Well, once you actually start to warm up to your spouse, she says it's my fault and that's final, so I guess it really is my fucking fault. Why are we stopping? 10 minutes later, she yawned out the words, looking at me with a cute little frown. Milkshakes. And just like that, her energy levels were back to 100%. Oh. She eagerly unclipped her seatbelt, making a move to open the door. Wait, I grabbed her hand before she could jump out the car. We need the all clear first. Right, she gave me a sheepish grin. Sorry, I forgot. You really love your milkshakes, huh? Milkshakes bring out a carefree side to her, or just an irresponsible one. I do, you can never go wrong with a milkshake. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I've had bad ones. What else was I supposed to say to this weirdo? She didn't seem to mind my short response, especially once we got the all clear to go inside. Let's go. Just like that she was gone, she's such a kid. And LT and LT and LT and LT and LT and LT and LT. And GT and GT and GT and GT and GT and GT and GT. And LT 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 and LT. She bought everyone milkshakes. Herself, me, Rocco, and the twins. She even suggested buying some for our security guards, which was when I had to calm her down. Either she's too generous for her own good, or she's just goes crazy when it comes to blended dairy. We took the milkshakes back to the penthouse to enjoy them with everyone else. But I think the only ones who shared her excitement were the twins. Let's not forget they'd already had Shake Shack earlier that evening. I think they've found a third member for their junk food group, my wife. We spent 4 more days in New York after Giovanni was shot. I preferred Rocco's suggestion of immediately sending the twins back to Sicily the very next day. At least they would have been safer there and I would have had some peace. But Millie insisted that Giovanni should recover in the penthouse first before flying home. She even offered to work from home for the last 4 days of our stay so she could watch over him. It would have been simple if Aiden didn't decide to make it 10 times fucking harder. I think those twins have some weird kind of telepathy shit going on. Since Giovanni was bedridden due to his gunshot wound, Aiden decided to come down with the fucking flu. The very next day after his brother was shot. 3 days before we were due to fly, he was coughing and sneezing around the entire penthouse. So I ordered him to stay in his room to stop spreading his germs. But he insisted on staying with Giovanni so he could be close to his brother. Guess which other fucking twin idiot came down with the fucking flu? Caring for those two idiots was a full-time job. We managed it between the three of us, making sure someone was in the penthouse with the twins at all times. Millie took most of the responsibility, but she was also busy working and trying to spend time with her family. Meanwhile, I spent those last 4 days working on my own plan to bring down Akko Petrovic. I was meeting as many contacts as I could in New York who I knew would be able to help me. At that point, it was safer not to involve Nicholas Darmos in any of my plans. His aggressive approach to bringing down the entire family was reckless. It just didn't make any sense, but he had a crazy lust for power that I didn't care to deal with. The day we left New York, we separated from Rocco and the twins. He was taking them back to Sicily, and we were going to Dubai for 10 days. Then he would eventually meet us in Riyadh with Tristano to finalize some business there. We'd be flying home after that to make it back just in time for October 25th. It was the date I dreaded every year for the past 5 years, but business always comes first. Once it was all done, then I could let the emotions hit me for one day only. Unlike our last flight, this 13-hour trip was an afternoon flight. We left at 3 p.m. New York time and landed in Dubai at 12 p.m. local time. Also, unlike our last flight, Millie was getting more and more irritable as time went on. She wasn't feeling great, so she couldn't concentrate on her work, but she couldn't sleep either because it was the middle of the day. We spent the entire flight awake, only to fall asleep an hour before we landed. I hate flying, it always messes me up. My wife sighed, standing up to pack away her carry-on after we landed. Let me tell you, she doesn't travel light. I thought her luggage consisting of 3 suitcases and a trunk was excessive until she opened her carry-on bag. The amount of shit she needs for a 13-hour flight is terrifying. A princess who hates flying? I've never met one of those before. I mused, picking up my small Gucci bag, just one bag, a few essentials, that's it. Do I look like a princess right now? She snapped, gesturing to her face like something was supposed to be wrong with it. I had no idea how to answer her question. You look the same as you did yesterday. Was that a good response? I think that was good. So I look gross, right? She shoved her eye mask in her bag, along with all the skincare products and unnecessary items she brought. I feel like I'm going to throw up or pass out. I think I just need a hot bath. Well, perhaps if you hurry up, we can go to the hotel. I don't see you helping me, Malaka. She's grouchy as hell, I can't even blame her. It was currently the middle of the night in New York. The entire drive to the hotel, I had to listen to Millie grumble and complain. For a woman driving in a fucking Rolls-Royce to a luxury hotel, she found a lot to complain about. I don't feel well, she sighed, resting her head on my arm while we stood at the check-in desk. Apparently, even if you're the heir to the Sicilian fucking Mafia, you still have to abide by fucking check-in times. Just give me 5 minutes to sort this out. Go and sit down. Costa, if I try to move, I'll probably pass out. She spoke quietly, clutching the marble surface of the check-in counter. I wrapped an arm around her waist to support her weight and keep her steady next to me. Okay, so your suite will be ready in 2 hours. If you'd like to have lunch while you wait, you can. I'm not waiting 2 hours. I want it ready now. I snapped at the blonde woman behind the counter. Sir, we have a procedure to follow. The suite needs to be cleaned, and since it's the presidential suite, have you got anything else available now? I cut her off, tightening my grip on Millie's waist when she let go of the counter. I need to buy a fucking house here. This is the last time I ever stay in a fucking hotel. It's unlikely. October is a busy time for us. Most of our rooms are fully booked. It's worth the wait. You're booked into our best suite, sir. She spoke as she scanned through his computer. The only option we have left is the three-bedroom beach villa. But it's just the two of you, so I'll take it. Sir, in your currency, it will be $4,500 a night. She frowned, almost as if she thought I couldn't afford it. So I cocked an eyebrow. I just told you I'll take it. Okay. She gulped, averting his gaze back to the computer. For 10 nights, your total will be $45,000. Any extra expenses will be calculated when you check out. Your bags will be taken to your villa. She slid the keys across the counter along with a document to sign. I scribbled down my signature before guiding Millie in the direction the concierge woman went. We went in one of those golf carts to the villa since it was at the other end of the resort. By the time we got there, Millie seemed like she'd already passed out. She just about managed to keep herself upright as we walked to the door. Do you need a tour? No, I shook my head, unlocking the door with the key. Okay, your luggage will arrive shortly. Enjoy your stay with us, Mr. Accardi. With that, she scurried away, leaving me with my wife. With a sigh, I lifted her up into my arms, bridal style, to carry her to the bedroom. What are you doing? You're not well, so? She huffed, her bratty side coming out. So shut up before I drop you. I replied, carrying her into the villa. I barely took in my surroundings, my only intention being to find the master bedroom. It was on the second floor with a view overlooking the private beach outside. I took Millie over to the four-poster king-size bed, laying her down on top. I think I caught Aiden's flu. She groaned, using her hand to shield her eyes from the light. Why? My whole body aches and I feel faint and sick. That's what he had, and then he got the flu. I swear I'm going to kill him when I see him again. The venom in her voice left no room for doubt. Aiden's a dead kid. Just rest. I'll order you something to eat. I'm not hungry. You need to eat. If you haven't developed the symptoms yet, it might help you fight it off. My mother always used to force us to eat fruit and vegetables whenever we were sick. She said nature cures anything. I was a kid with a limited understanding of the world, so I believed her. I don't want to fight, I want to sleep. Thankfully, I didn't have to think of a way to answer her confusing remark because she rolled over to go to sleep. In some alternate reality, there's a version of me somewhere killing himself at the sight of me taking care of Millie. While she was asleep, I took her shoes off and put a blanket over her. I had all our luggage brought upstairs and I ordered her some nutritious food for when she woke up. This woman is doing some crazy shit to me. Guys, the next chapter has all the feels. I can't wait for you to read it.